Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? Similar to every other socially constructed industry in this country, Black actors have long had a steeper hill to climb than their white counterparts. We're talking everything from casting disparities to low role availability. From, stereotypical roles to the insistence that Black doesn't sell. And this is all before they're able to pick up the check for their work. That's a lot to overcome, right, fam? Insert one Terrence Howard, the great Terrence Howard, who is arguably one of the best actors in Hollywood today, hands down. Terrence told a story while taking a break on set about how CAA, Creative Artists Agency, just did him dirty. This was the agency that he was signed to. They represented him. They negotiated his contracts. And he said that they intentionally undermined his pay because they had a working relationship with the studios. So they were incentivized not to get him the biggest check. So instead of Terrence Howard making $2 million an episode for Empire, similar to what his white counterparts were making, who was not doing as well as he was doing, he was only paid $325,000 per episode to be on one of the biggest shows that has ever been on television, Empire. Now, I know some people who haven't seen that type of money is going like, man, you be happy, man. $325,000, I'll take it. If you were working at, let's say, AT&T, and everybody who was doing the same job that you was doing, and even the people who had just gotten to AT&T, who hadn't put in the time and the work that you had, some of the people who ain't even as good as you are, in fact, they're below you. You had to actually train them. They were all making, let's say, 8, 9, 10 times more money than you. Would you be cool with that? I thought so. Now I know you got the people saying, well, Black people need to just stop playing the game. You need to just live. Well, you could say You could say the same thing for people outside of Hollywood. That means that the people who work for the city, the people who work in law, the people who are doctors, the people who work, who drive buses, the teachers, they could all do that. Pretty much we all just would not have employment. Because as I said, just about every single industry out there, there's a huge pay disparity between Black and white workers. And that is because of simply institutionalized racism, systematic racism. A lot of these people got the attitude that if you're Black and you got the talent, I'll work with you, because we do need to get that Black audience, so we'll put you out there, but automatically you're not going to get the kind of money that somebody on your level is used to getting. Terrence said, to add insult to injury, Creative Artists Agency, CAA, sent him a $666 check. Just 666, which he interpreted as a threat. See, they do stuff like that. You know, these companies, they do things like that. You know, make these subtle threats, and they oftentimes, I've heard of actors getting paid like 28 cents. Things like that. I'm talking about like to stick it to you when you complain about your money. Like, it was all we got. Obviously, you know, at 28 cents, you know, that ain't no oversight. That's somebody that's intentionally poking at you. I was looking at James Earl Jones, who played, he did the voice for Darth Vader back in the 80s. Darth Vader is one of the most iconic voices ever, and we're talking a blockbuster movie. Take a wild guess how much he got paid. What do you think he got paid? 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40? Take a wild guess. I'll give you a few moments. Okay, time up. $7,000. $7,000 to voice Darth Vader. I ain't gotta tell you, fam. I ain't gotta tell you what it is. You know what it is. So people would say, well, black people need to create their own industries and and then stop complaining. So it's the same thing again, fam, with these other jobs. You're gonna go out and start your own bus company. You're gonna go out and start your own school. Everybody can't start their own school. So you gotta have workers, right? You know, everybody can't start their own bus company. Still gotta have workers. So what I'm saying, fam, is no matter where you go, you're dealing with pay disparity. Yes, one person can go out and start it. They can start it, but then it starts all over again. And, you know, cracking this Hollywood nut ain't the easiest thing to do. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from doing it. I think you absolutely should. I believe in ownership. But let's be real. To go out here and make these movies, let's just say you got the money to go make the movie. After you can make the movie, what's next? You got to get the movie aired in the theaters. If not the theaters, you got to get it on Netflix. You got to get it on, I was about to say Tubi, Hulu, whatever. It's still got to go on streaming platforms. So now you got to go create the streaming platform. And somebody can do that also. But you're also dealing with regulators. You're dealing with regulators, you're dealing with government, you're dealing with, it's all kind of stuff that you're dealing with, permits and got to deal with advertising, all kinds of stuff. Here's a prime example. We say go do it yourself, go create your own thing. Ice Cube went and created his own thing, Big 3. And it's a great model for 3-on-3 basketball. I've been to a few games, and it's a great atmosphere. It's kid friendly. It looks just like the NBA, except a smaller version and an older version for the athletes, right? Because he takes the athletes after their NBA career is over, and he basically, give them new life, and they still getting a paycheck, they still traveling city to city, living the life and signing autographs, taking pictures. It's a beautiful thing. But guess what happened, fam? Amidst Ice Cube minding his own business and going out there and building it like we encourage blacks to do instead of complaining. He didn't complain, he just said, I'll do my own, I'll build my own. The NBA, according to Cube, started interfering with his business, telling networks not to do business with him, telling advertisers don't do business with him, because the NBA has been around forever, and they don't have just, I think the Big 3 has about 10 teams or something like that. They don't have 10 teams. They have 20-something teams, and they have They have deals with networks all over the place. They have the branding deals. They've been in the game forever. They pretty much got it on lock. And so they use their influence to hate. And this is what happens with every single black person who tries to penetrate that wall of doing it yourself. They come in and try to run interference. If they wasn't running interference, it wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be as difficult. But they run interference intentionally. People say, well, you don't like Facebook, you don't like Instagram, YouTube. Stop complaining and do your own thing. Okay, what's the number one search engine in the United States? Ding, 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 you guessed it, Google. So let's say you want to compete against YouTube. Your potential customers have to search Google to find you. If it's an app, you got to be approved in the App Store. You got to either Google, or you got to download it from Google, or you got to download it from Apple. Again, companies that are not controlled by black folks. Still gotta, you get where I'm going with this, fam? This is not to discourage anyone, but this is just to put things in perspective. Terrence Howard absolutely deserves to be paid as much as anybody out there. And I hope he wins that suit. He's suing for $125 million. This is based on being underpaid for all of these shows. And there is a pay scale when it comes to Hollywood that they're supposed to go by. But when it comes to black folks, they just tend to throw this stuff out of the window. Oprah Winfrey got paid $35,000 for The Color Purple, one of the biggest movies, blockbuster movies ever. Now I understand that, when you're young, when you're just starting out, you got to kind of take what you can get. But when you've been in the game as long as Terrence Howard, come on, man. Come on, y'all know that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Terrence, man, go get your money, man. I'm with you. Power to the people. No more talk.